What's going on, everybody? If you don't know, now you do know. You're officially tuned in to a very special edition, and I mean very special edition of the Health, Fitness, Wealth Business Podcast Series. This is your host, Clifton Pope, and I'm actually coming to you live and direct on the road, on the go, here in Washington, D.C. Today is July the 21st, 2023, the day that I'm recording this episode. It is about 8:35 a.m. here in Washington, D.C. The reason why I'm here in Washington, D.C., for those who don't know, I am actually one of the board members, of course, for the Corpus Christi Black Chambers of Commerce. I am the treasurer, to be exact. And me and our vice president, Mr. Curtis Clark, and our parliamentarian, the wonderful Dr. Tammy Francis, we were the three individuals selected to basically come here and to basically be a part of this event in Washington, D.C. And overall, it's been a great experience just to be a part of this event, just to be around all these different black owned business owners and black entrepreneurs and great black chambers of commerce leaders, and just soaking in the environment, soaking in the opportunity just to be a part of it. I mean, it's been about a 2 day convention, really, because all of the main sessions were throughout the day yesterday on July the 20th and the previous day before on July the 19th. So it was a 3 day convention. Technically, the convention is still going on today, but nothing that kind of will be really beneficial for the Corpus Christi Black Chambers of Commerce. At least that's what all of us discussed yesterday when we were trying to figure out what it is that we're trying to do. But overall, I just wanted to do something a little bit different because I know it's been a while since I've done a solo episode, and I've tried to tell myself, man, I need to get some content out there for the people because, I've been slipping a little bit on doing my podcast episodes, and I need to realize, and I had to step back and realize, health, fitness, wealth, business. For those who are listening to the podcast the first time, it's a health and wellness brand, and it's an educational services company based off of business, life, and entrepreneurship coaching. I transitioned from being a pharmacy technician to being a personal trainer. And now that kind of ties in more to my health and wellness brand as far as doing things more with a holistic approach from the mind, body, spirit perspective. As far as just not only focusing on moving the body and exercising, the proper form within exercises within primal pattern movement, as far as all push exercises, pull exercises, leg exercises, incorporating the hip hinges, incorporating the lunge and the squat, and of course your gait-based movement like walking, running, sprinting, and just rotating the body to the left, to the right, all of that. On top of just doing meditation services, because I do meditation sessions, one-on-one group, meditation specialist. I'm currently taking online courses for it and everything. Overall, just the ability just to align the three brains that we have within our body. The third brain, which is actually the one people refer to the most, the one inside our heads, that's actually our third brain. Our second brain is the one within our stomach, which is why they say trust your gut, trust your intuition, follow your gut, as they say. And then the first brain is within your heart, because whenever the doctors, track what's going on within the pregnancy, within women who get pregnant, of course, and they go to the doctor monitors them and everything, and they try to find a trace of life within the womb and everything. And the first thing that they detect is they detect a heartbeat, and it's just a steady heartbeat. It's like a nice little rhythm. And then from there, that's when the heart begins to form around that heartbeat, and from there the body begins to form, and next thing you could know, you got a nice little you got basically a new piece of life within that woman forming within the womb, based on those, how the heartbeat begins to form, and then the heart of course forms around it, and next thing you know, you got a living individual, most importantly in due time, of course. And overall, that is kind of a quick summary of what I do within health, fitness, wealth, business, and everything. For those who are listening to the HFWB podcast series for the first time, and overall, I want to do something a little bit different. This is my first solo episode I've done in quite a while, probably a few months as a matter of fact. And I just want to catch up with you, the people, real quick and talk to y'all about a couple of things. I won't hold y'all up too longer because, I want to do a little bit of sightseeing before I come back into town. For those who are listening to this episode of the HFWB podcast series tomorrow, July 22nd, this episode should be coming out tomorrow. And I just want to say, hey, how's everyone doing? I've been doing well here in Washington, D.C. for the United States Black Chambers of Commerce National Convention. This is day 3 and my last day being in Washington, D.C. before I return back home to Corpus Christi, Texas, my wonderful hometown of 31 years. I am 31 years old, which explains that. But overall, this is the second time that myself, our Vice President, Mr. Curtis Clark, and our parliamentarian currently, Dr. Tammy Francis, this is the second time that we come to Washington, D.C. for the United States Black Chambers of Commerce National Convention. And to summarize it, it's a great opportunity for every black-owned business owner and entrepreneur to get access to all this information as far as just to advocacy, access to capital, access to opportunity, stuff like that will help you out within the long run and within the challenging issues that are to come as far as within your journey as an entrepreneur and a business owner. Because the main thing that they stressed out the most, which sticks out to me, is just access to capital, because it's a long, challenging issue. It's a long, challenging issue just to gain funding in general for any business owner, but it's twice as hard for a black-owned business owner. It's like you got to get creative basically to find ways to access funding just in general, and it's even more of a challenge when you're a black man in America and they don't take you as serious as they should, which is something within itself, and it's crazy. But at the same time, not only access to capital is a main issue, there's access to opportunity, which is also an issue, because the business opportunity, there's opportunities everywhere you go, but within every opportunity comes difficulties, but at the same time, those difficulties will turn into better opportunities for down the road. So when you put that from an entrepreneur and a business owner perspective, the business opportunity is there once you find it. Seek and you shall find whatever it is that you set your sights on in due time. And it's not only just that, it sometimes comes down to just lack of information and just expanding on how to grow as yourself as an entrepreneur as far as the how-to method, or grow your own business as a business owner from the how-to method as well. That's two things really that stuck out for me alone within the last 2 days of being at this convention. And I want to give a special shout out to the United States Black Chambers of Commerce President and CEO, Mr. Ron Busby. He's a hell of a brother. The fact that his vision and the way that he has the United States Black Chambers of Commerce structured as an overall Chambers of Commerce, not just as black chambers of commerce, just as a chambers of commerce in general, the way they operate and move like military soldiers aligned within one unit, it's incredible. And it's like, there's one thing that he said that I want everybody to heed as I say this on this episode of the HFWB podcast series. I want to read this out to y'all. He said everybody who was attending the convention, I want to say it was 2 days ago, in order for there to be a great America, we have to have a black America, right? Now, in order to have, let me just, before I read everything else he said, in order for there to be a great America, we have to have a black America. Most people don't realize that this country alone was built off of slavery, and it was built off of the Jim Crow system, and it's always forever been hidden and concealed, but it's starting to become revealed once again, which is something else within itself. And it's the world was built. That's one of the original sins of this whole entire world, especially the United States of America particularly, is racism. That's a sin that we are slowly but surely beginning to wipe away, but it keeps on popping back, because it's just we got to be eventually forgiven for those sins and what that has caused as far as the repercussions and stuff. But overall, let me just finish to what the CEO and the president of the USBC, Mr. Ron Busby, said that I had to just write down. He said, in order for there to be a great America, we have to have a black America. In order to have a black America, we must have strong black-owned businesses. In order to have strong black-owned businesses, we need a strong black chambers of commerce to provide the tools and resources needed for support. In order to have a strong black chambers of commerce, we need the support of the black community. Now, I'm going to read all this again so this could all sink in. One more time, y'all, for those who are listening, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. This is a very special edition of the HFWB Podcast Series, live and direct. I'm here in Washington, D.C. in my hotel room as we speak. In order for there to be a great America, we have to have a black America. In order to have a black America, we must have a strong black-owned businesses. In order to have strong black-owned businesses, we need a strong black chambers of commerce to provide the tools and resources needed for support. And in order to have a strong black chambers of commerce, we need the support of the black community. And it's like, it starts with us supporting each other. If I respect you, if I come up to another black man, for instance, and say, if I respect you as a black man, we could unify and stop a common enemy from killing us. But that's just within the whole entire human race within itself as well. So it's like, we need more unity in the community, especially within the black community, in order for us black folks to grow out of these stereotypes they keep trying to put on us, and that they have been putting on us for many decades at this point. And it's unfortunate too, because within the course of time, dating back to like the days of slavery, to the days of Jim Crow, to the days of the civil rights and everything, the whole thing that I got out of this, as far as what we've been through and what is to come, the sense of urgency is definitely being cranked up, for one, but number two, we've always had to make some sort of in-game adjustments to what's been thrown in front of us at the end of the day. I apologize, I'm eating some fruit right now for those who are listening to this episode of the HFWB Podcast Series. And I want to make a special little announcement for everyone who is listening. Well, it's not really an announcement. It's something that everyone is aware of. For those who are watching right now on YouTube, I am holding up a copy of A Dollar and a Vision, my second official self-published book. I want y'all to take time out of y'all's day and go visit my website, healthfitnesswealthbusiness.com/CP, or you can go on my Facebook page by typing in Health Fitness Wealth Business, and my website link will be on my Facebook page. You can click on the website, it'll take you, there's a link on there where you can literally buy this book right now off of Amazon for $15 a copy. I appreciate the support and just having that vision necessary in order to cash out whatever you map out within the journey that you go on and the destinations you're trying to get to within your every journey you go on. I want to throw that out there. It's kind of like a off the top of the head kind of sponsoring myself. This episode of the HFWB Podcast Series is being sponsored, of course, by Leon Law Firm. Shout out to Leon Law Firm, one of my sponsors. I've been slipping on that. Shout out to Katie Logan, who airs the HFWB Podcast Series, still every Saturday at 2 p.m. on 361ccradio.com. That's 361ccradio.com. And you need to get you a copy of my latest book, latest self-published book, my second book, Dollar and a Vision, available on Amazon as well. But other than that, it's like, I wanted to get back to the in-game adjustments real quick. It's like, we've always made some sort of in-game adjustments within slavery, within Jim Crow, within the whole civil rights movement. And now, even with what's going on, what just happened recently with, all the black-on-black killings by the police, the George Floyd case, I mean, it's always something to which we have to make some sort of in-game adjustment, and we have to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And it's mind-boggling to me at times how this continues to occur on a regular basis. But one thing that they stressed on, as far as at this United States Black Chambers of Commerce convention, that I want to get out, they said something that was interesting, as far as like all the affirmative action cases and them trying to wipe out our history with the diversity. They're trying to basically eliminate diversity, inclusion. They're trying to eliminate all kind of diversity, equity, and inclusion type of programs that they're teaching in the schools. They're trying to eliminate all the African American history for those who don't know what's going on with the whole affirmative action cases in Supreme Court. They're basically trying to wipe out all of Black history once again and act like it didn't exist when it did. And that's what this whole country was built off of. And at the same time, our prison systems are still being used as kind of like slavery concentration camps, which is something that they don't talk about, but that's a whole nother episode we can do as far as getting into the logistics of that and everything. But yeah, they said something that's interesting. They said that in 5 years, it will be a neutral America where there is no color, no gender, and everything will be one and the same. And it's like, that's a scary thing to kind of think of, I mean, that just goes to show you they're trying to turn back the clock, y'all. For all my brothers and sisters who are listening, if you haven't figured it out by now, they trying to turn back the clock on us, man. They're trying to make everything white again. They're trying to make, it's like when Donald Trump said, "Make America great again." What they really meant by that was they're trying to make America white again. They're trying to wipe out all sorts of African American history. They're trying to steal our culture, eliminate our culture, and at the same time manipulate and degrade our culture, the Black culture that makes Black folks excellent, hence Black excellence. They're trying to neutralize us, and they're trying to basically eliminate us and wipe us off the face of the earth. So for those who are listening, all my Black-owned business owners and brothers and sisters, this is the time to pay attention, because in 5 years, maybe shorter than that, maybe even longer than that, but you never know when this may happen. They're giving it a 5-year window. I hope that that's not the case, but you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Hopefully it doesn't happen anytime soon, as long as we get ourselves in gear and we take it to another gear and get to that next level to where we can continue to elevate ourselves to multiple levels. They're saying in 5 years it will be a neutral America. I really hope that's not the case. And they're saying everything will be one and the same. But the way we can basically overcome all this, to all my Black entrepreneurs and Black-owned business owners, or just business owners and entrepreneurs in general, be aggressive, look into mergers and acquisitions. Don't be afraid to collaborate with someone who is better than you in what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it raises not only your expectations, it raises your overall level of performance, your overall intensity on how you approach the situation and approach the game that you play. And it allows you to make those necessary in-game adjustments by taking things to the next level simply by increasing your size and scale, which is something that they talk about. And it's very important, Would you rather be stung by a bee or pooped on by a bird? Which of those two would you prefer? As this episode continues to roll, I want to talk about The importance of collaboration versus competition. Nobody wins when we're beefing with each other. Everybody wins when we link as one and we form chains, and then that chain continues to grow to where we can create a chain reaction. A good example of this, look at what Elon Musk has done. Look at how he became a billionaire and has fortunes. Elon Musk didn't create things. He bought things and merged companies into one. How do you think Tesla became what it was today, and why do you think he's so invested into it? Because he bought into those things, those little things that made Tesla into what it is, and he merged certain companies, some that are probably unknown to this very day, to kind of make to how Tesla became what it is today. And now Tesla has become one, and now Elon Musk is one of the richest and most famous people in the world. All because he didn't create things, but he learned how to buy things and merge things into one. We need to stop buying into the whole idea of, oh, I got to be better than this person, or I got to be better than the next person, when we can collaborate with that person and use them as like a mentor, and you can learn things for them and find ways how you could continue to elevate yourself within that person to where y'all could form a partnership, a friendship, to where y'all could unify as one and merge into one, and you could basically accomplish more things together if you put both of your brains into it than what each of y'all probably could have accomplished on your own as individuals. And that's all it comes down to, really, when it comes to just collaboration versus competition. Greater things could get done when you collaborate with other individuals versus competing with that same individual you can utilize to not only make them better, but make yourself better in the process. And obviously, it just comes down to just staying committed to the task and everything, because 50% of winning, not only just in the business world, but just in the game of life within itself, it starts with just showing up and just being committed. It's like I've been telling all of my personal training clients, the fact that you decided to dedicate time out of your day and commit to, trying to improve your overall health by just taking time to figure out how to exercise properly and do the form of the exercises correctly, to where the body muscles and bones that are getting worked out, of course, reap the full benefits and everything. But it goes back to just being the best version of yourself that you can be, and it starts with just being committed to wanting to do that, and then the rest is just consistency. It's like it starts with commitment and it ends with consistency. And that's how it is within the business world as well. Whenever you have an idea, whenever you have a vision, whenever you have something that you want to do, whether it's a story to tell, a product, or a story to tell within like a book that eventually becomes a product, or you could create more products on top of that and create some sort of service that can provide not only value but solve someone's problem, for example. It starts with being committed to the task and being committed to the process and being committed to the journey. And yes, when you stay consistent to that process and journey, you eventually reach your destination, but the journey still goes on and life goes on and the show must continue to roll on, as they say. And I just want to talk about just one more thing real quick that I feel like I must say as I wrap up this little short episode here, the HFWB podcast series. I may record like a couple of episodes. I'll probably record another episode maybe tomorrow. For those who are listening to this episode currently, it's probably going to come out on July the 22nd, which is tomorrow's date. And then, of course, I'm going to give you a full recap of the whole Washington, D.C. trip as far as everything that I do today, probably tomorrow. I'm going to probably record that episode before I leave back home to Corpus Christi, Texas. I should have thought about doing this earlier, but I'm kind of a little bit late on this because I've been so caught up in the moment. I've been kind of taking everything in. But the overall summarize the Washington, D.C. trip, it's been fantastic. I'm truly grateful for all the safe travels and everything, making it here safe and sound. And it's been a great experience for sure. And it's just having the opportunity to just be inspired and motivated, by other black-owned business owners and other chambers of commerce leaders and just entrepreneurs in general. And just being around so many brothers and sisters who are dedicated to their crafts and movers and shakers within their own way, and just symbolizing black excellence and showing that black doesn't crack as long as we're on the attack. I appreciate everybody who's taking time out of their day, wherever you may be, however you may be listening to this episode, this special edition of the HFWB Podcast Series on the road here in Washington, D.C. This is day number 3, July 21st, 2023. This episode will be coming out tomorrow on July 22nd for those who are listening to this episode already. I appreciate y'all for listening to this episode and taking time to just support the HFWB Podcast Series. Be sure to download every episode. Be sure to stream every single episode. And be sure to take time out of your day to subscribe to the HFWB Podcast Series, because if you do so, you can basically listen to my audiobook of my first book, What's Wealth Without Work. And also keep in mind that audiobook for Dollar and a Vision is coming very, very soon as well. I'll probably have the audiobook for Dollar and a Vision done more than likely probably by the end of 2023. So that's a spoiler alert and a special announcement for everybody right there who's listening to the HFWB Podcast Series right now. The audiobook for Dollar and a Vision will be out by the end of 2023. I plan on getting that recorded here within the next month or two. Probably begin the recording process of that and getting that out there. So if you subscribe to the HFWB Podcast Series for $5 a month, you can have access to the audiobook not only for What's Wealth Without Work, which is available now on my subscribed episodes that I have for those who subscribe to the podcast, of course, but Dollar and a Vision, the audiobook version, will be available in special subscribed episodes of the HFWB Podcast Series. So be on the lookout for that and support the Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business Podcast Series by subscribing to basically the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, wherever you play your podcasts or listen to your podcasts, I should say. I'm looking outside right now. I got a nice view of the Capitol from my hotel room. I'm staying in the Hilton Garden Inn Suites Hotel here in Washington, D.C. I'm about maybe 5 or 10 minutes away from the Capitol for those who are watching or those who are listening right now. But other than that, man, it's been a great trip, and I've learned so much. I've been inspired by so many great individuals, and I've been motivated by different individuals by just listening to their overall stories. I mean, I got to see the actual president and CEO of the NAACP, the national chapter. I got to listen to Reverend Al Sharpton drop some gems and talk that noise like he always does, and I got to listen to other influential CEOs. I got to listen to people from the U.S. Treasury Department talking about, the Inflation Reduction Act and all this stuff as far as just getting your finances in order and knowing about all these tax breaks that you can take advantage of within every business opportunity and stuff like that. It's all these little things that every entrepreneur and every business owner can utilize to, of course, benefit them in some form of capacity down the road. And it's incredible just thinking about that for sure. But overall, I'm just looking forward to being back home. Tomorrow I fly out. I fly out from Washington, D.C., back to Dallas, back to Corpus Christi, Texas tomorrow. For those who are listening to this episode by tomorrow, I shall be back home by then, and I appreciate y'all for wishing me safe travels as I do come home. But other than that, I want to leave on this note by saying one thing, and this is the message that really stuck out to me that I'm really going to carry on, that you're going to hear me saying a lot. Influence is currency. Let me say that again, y'all. Influence is currency. And the reason why I say that is because your ability to influence somebody from a negative or positive perspective, it's all going to come back around full circle. Not only that, but at the same time, you're cashing in on an opportunity to change somebody, by influencing them. Because when you influence somebody, they're taking time out of their day to watch what it is you're doing, figuring out what it is that they like about you and they don't like about you, and they kind of tend to focus on the things that make you unique and special in your own way. And they basically become some sort of they idolize you, and they make you, like, they put you in that chair of a role model and a public figure that they can look up to. And it's like you're literally changing them by doing that, which is why you're kind of cashing in on the opportunity to change somebody, which is why I say influence is currency. Now, you could apply that to the business world, you could apply that to the sports world, you could apply that to even the political field, and you could just apply that to life within itself. I want to end this special edition of the HFWB podcast series by saying, remember this, y'all, influence is currency. And that's all there is to it. But overall, I appreciate everybody for taking time out of their day to listen to this very special edition of the HFWB podcast series. And yeah, man, it's day 3 of Washington, D.C. trip, the United States Black Chambers of Commerce National Convention. And if there's one thing for sure, we're taking advantage of having opportunities to learn about having more access to opportunity, improving our advocacy issues, improving how we can get more access to capital, and just overall continue to grow and be the best entrepreneurs we can be, black-owned business owners that we can be, best Chamber of Commerce business leaders that we can be, and just overall bring people together as far as the tree shakers, those who shake the tree off of the fruit and then grab the fruit as they go. They just shake the tree off of the fruit as far as the tree shakers, and then the jelly makers, those who actually pick the fruit off of the tree and they make the actual juice that comes out of they make the jelly or the juice that comes out of the fruit within itself. Find a way to bring the tree shakers and the jelly makers together to where we can all align as one, and we can have a very powerful agenda that can shape not only this generation, but future generations to come. With that being said, for those who want to know more about the HFWB podcast series, if this is your first time listening, be sure you can download and stream all 95 episodes of the HFWB podcast series. You can literally do it on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify podcasts. You could also go on YouTube and watch the video versions. You can YouTube Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business, all lowercase, and click that subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel to where you can get all exclusive health, fitness, wealth, business content. And also be sure to visit my website, healthfitnesswealthbusiness.com. This is all lowercase, healthfitnesswealthbusiness.com /CP, my personal initials for Clifton Pope. You can visit my website to where you can get you a copy of, once again, my most recent book, my second book I've ever written and self-published, called $1 in a Vision, available on Amazon for $15. You could also order my first copy or my first book that I wrote, What's Wealth Without Work, that's also available on as well for $10. And for those who are interested in personal training or meditation sessions, one-on-one or group, you can give me a call at 361-765-4760, or you can email me at all lowercase CPOPE for C Pope. Again, that's CPOPE.CP@gmail.com. You can email me there. We could set up a free one-on-one consultation, and we can put together a program based on what your overall goals is, based on your overall your food sensitivities, pretty much what you're trying to accomplish as far as losing weight, gaining muscle, having more energy, and put together the proper meal plan, put together the proper exercise program, incorporate proper breathing, stretching, and just aligning our mind, body, and spirit into one, and realizing that we are the source and the essence once we are within our overall presence and we're complete from within ourselves. Let me know. I am accepting one-on-one and group personal training sessions and clients, along with meditation sessions and clients. You can contact me again, 361-765-4760, or you can email me at cpope.cp@gmail.com. Once again, visit my website, healthfitnesswealthbusiness.com/CP. And yeah, man, this has been fun. I promise I'll come with more solo episodes coming very soon, to where I'm going to give you more exclusive content and more things to come. And yeah, I'm definitely going to get back on the podcast flow, because this is the engine of what makes health, fitness, wealth, business continue to go on. So I promise you there will be more one-on-one episodes, or solo episodes, I should say, of the solo episodes of the HFWB podcast series coming soon. More interviews for the HFWB podcast series coming soon. Been taking a little bit of a break because, I've been venturing out and been busy a little bit with training all of my personal training clients and everything. But at the same time, I promise more exclusive content for the HFWB podcast series is coming soon. We got new episodes coming, new merch coming. We got a lot of things in the works, man, but be on the lookout for all those things. I appreciate y'all. This is Clifton Pope, Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business, and thank you for tuning into a very special edition of the HFWB podcast series, y'all. Stay healthy, wealthy, and blessed. Peace and love.